Bloodbath yesterday, the Indian stock markets have got a breather today. But is it some lull before a full-fledged storm? Well, we are seeing a tit-for-tat on tariffs between China and the US. What was started in February by US President Donald Trump is being countered in equal measure by the dragon. This has got the world on edge. Sample this. In February, US imposes 10% tariff on China and China hits back with countermeasures. Then in March, Trump doubles tariff to 20% and China retaliates with 15% tariff. In April, on Liberation Day, Trump announces 54% tariff and China retaliates with 34%. Markets across the world crash, but that couldn't stop this tariff war. Trump has now threatened additional 50% tariff on China if it doesn't withdraw the 34% retaliation. China, meanwhile, vows to fight till the end, calling it mistake on top of a mistake. Listen in.
Meet and other countries are coming in. With China, as you know, against my statement, they put a 34% tariff on above what their ridiculous tariffs were already. And I said if that tariff isn't removed by tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we're putting a 50% tariff on above the tariffs that we put on. So they've gone for years. They've become a rich country because of people, again, that were in the White House that allowed this to happen. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year they're making us on trade, and it shouldn't be that way. And I have a great relationship with President Xi. I hope it's going to stay that way. I have great respect for China, but they can't do this. We're going to have one shot at this, and no other president's going to do this, what I'm doing. And I'll tell you what, it's an honor to do it because we have been just destroyed. What they've done to our system. You know, we have $36 trillion of debt for a reason.
Well, amidst all of this, there seems to be trouble in paradise. As per reports, it seems US President Donald Trump and Tesla chief Elon Musk are not on the same page on tariffs. As per a report, Elon Musk made personal appeal to Donald Trump. The DOGE chief attempted intervention after Trump threatened on Monday to impose additional 50% tariff on imports from China. Musk even held direct private talks with the president, hoping to convince him to scale back the measures. But it has not brought any success so far. This as per a news report. Now, so far officially, we haven't heard anything from Trump or Musk on it. Meanwhile, here in India, the government is working hard to expedite the conclusion of the bilateral trade agreement. India's External Affairs Minister spoke to US Secretary of State on phone yesterday, and this has raised hopes of a trade deal between both countries soon. On the other hand, Union Minister Piyush Goyal blamed unfair trade practices by China for the global turmoil. He claimed that Beijing's increasing dominance in global trade is adversely impacting economies like India. He also slammed Rahul Gandhi for the MOU with China and the impact of UPA policies on India's manufacturing sector. Listen in.
When Mr. Vajpayee laid down office in 2004, the India-China trade deficit was at a certain level. And how in the 10 years of the UPA government, that trade deficit soared by about 25 times in 10 years in the trade deficit between India and China, in 10 years of Congress rule and UPA rule. We wonder what was that MOU that was signed by Mr. Rahul Gandhi with the Communist Party of China, after which tariffs were brought down very significantly on products which China massively dumped into India, which killed many of our Indian manufacturing ecosystem and made us dependent on China. And the country is still today suffering from that 10 years of mismanagement of the economy.
Well, the opposition meanwhile has questioned the government. Leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi says Trump has blown the lid off the illusion. Reality is biting back and Prime Minister is nowhere to be seen. Here's what some of the other leaders from the opposition have said.
Our Prime Minister and his team of cabinet ministers and officers, whoever are responsible for this, they have proved completely ineffective in meeting a situation which is declared at least 8 months in advance. Mr. Trump had been putting it out in all his election campaigns. Then he was elected. Then there was a gap of about 3 months before he took oath. He was going on saying the same thing. And now he said, I'm going to implement it. Prime Minister went there, they had talks regarding this. So what was the effectiveness of that talk? The interest of our country has not been able to be safeguarded by either the Prime Minister or his team of ministers and officers.
time to time we'll come out and interact with you, let the meeting begin. But there is an atmosphere of gloom across the country. The economy has literally tanked, and we expect the Prime Minister to issue a statement to restore the confidence of people in the stock market and in the economy. We don't understand why the Prime Minister is so quiet. Every other country, even smaller countries who have smaller economies, who don't have the kind of clout which India should have and India does have, are responding. But India is not responding. Prime Minister is quiet.